Hello guys, this is JV here bringing you another game review. Before we start this game review, I want to talk about my last review, Shadowrun Returns. I felt my final score was a little unfair to the game, so I'm going to bump up my final score to an 8.5 out of 10 instead of a 7 out of 10. I feel just on a rating scale, it'd be much better given an 8.5. It deserves it, definitely. Alright, so we're going to get to what we're reviewing today. Today we're reviewing Rise of the Triad. This is a game made by Interceptor Software in association with Apogee. Yes, the Apogee that made all the old DOS games, like Jazz Jackrabbit, Duke Nukem, stuff like that. One of their games was Rise of the Triad, and it was a failed Wolfenstein sequel that was rebranded to Rise of the Triad. Well, they remade it, and it came out on July 31st, and I'm gonna be just straight here. The game isn't anything special, really. It's a lot in vain like Serious Sam 3. It's very faithful to the original, but there's also a lot of glitches and bugs that keep me from giving this game as much as a thumbs up as I give a game like Serious Sam 3. For example, the combat in the game is very self-explanatory. Shooting, that's about it. When it comes to an old school shooter remake like this, what usually propels the combat is the variety of weapons. And the variety of weapons, I guess, is there, but it's not too good. There are a lot of weapons, but I mean, it's usually variations of the same weapon over and over again. But, besides that, combat's good. My problem with the game is the controls. It's very slippery, which is alright during combat, but I don't know who thought it'd be a good idea to put in platforming segments, but they did. There's a level in the second act which it was the bane of my existence for a while. There's 4 platforming segments you have to go through to be able to complete the level, and it's so infuriating because the jumping controls are so slippery and touchy, and the walking controls are so slippery and touchy. I've had the game randomly do stuff to get me killed, like a glitch will happen and I just die. When I reload a checkpoint, I've had the game not load the enemies correctly. And this isn't just my game. I reloaded the game cache. The game meets my minimum system requirements. My minimum system requirements, in fact, beat the game by far. Or my system requirements meet the minimum requirements by far. But it seems that this game just feels unfinished. And if it would have had like another week to cook, I think this would have been a lot better of a launch. I might come back to this game after it gets patched up and stuff. If this game was patched, I'd be giving it like a 6 out of 10, but since there's so many glitches that just hinder it to the point to where it becomes a problem. Like, I've had the game I'll be jumping around in a platforming segment, and then a platform I'll just fall through one. I've had, like I said before, in the first act, I reloaded a checkpoint, and there were supposed to be enemies that came out, and after you kill the enemies, the door opens. The enemies didn't come out, so I couldn't kill them to open the door. That meant I had to restart the entire level over again, instead of reloading my checkpoint. That's another problem I have with this game. There's no manual saving. In the original Rise of the Triad, there was manual saving. So even though the game was hard, it was your fault because you didn't save before you walked into the next room. With this game, it's not like that. It's unfair. They don't give you checkpoints. They're few and far between. The game is much harder than the original. Much harder because even on the easiest difficulty, there's so many enemies. They do so much damage. They take so many hits, and the checkpoints are just few and far between. But as I was saying before, if the game was patched up and the glitches aside, which they probably more than likely will be, it'd be a 6 out of 10, but I'm giving the game a 5 out of 10 right now. It's very average, it's buggy, it's the only thing that's stopping me from giving it a lower score is that it's $15 on Steam. I mean, it's cheap. I was so harsh on Deadpool because that was a full release game, and it was still bad, but I recommend this game more than Deadpool just because, even though it is bad, it's a certain kind of bad that's like, it's like so good it's bad, or I mean so bad it's good, in a way. I still recommend this game if you like old school shooters, but I'd wait till it gets patched. But, just not for me, I guess. But multiplayer is good, actually. That's the other part I need to talk about, is the multiplayer. Multiplayer, for me, was the saving factor of it. My score still stands at a 5 out of 10, even with the multiplayer, but it's refreshing, because it's very Quake-like. You spawn with a pistol, you gotta go find better weapons, etc., etc. After this game gets patched up, I think I might replay it, and then I might put an annotation at the end of this video. I might change the final score in this game. I know I need to quit changing the final scores. It'll stop, but with this game just being released as buggy as it was, it might need to be changed. I might come back to it in a week, and if it's not fixed, you guys won't see an annotation at the end of this video a week from now, I guess. I don't want to use this part of the video as a update. So, Rise of the Triad, my final score for that's a 5 out of 10. But, now I want to use this part of the video as an update. I'm going to be doing reviews of games. It's just, I'm not going to be doing... You might have noticed in my Deadpool video I had gameplay, and in my past two videos I haven't had gameplay. That's because on smaller games, I'm not going to be doing gameplay. On AAA releases, I will be doing gameplay. I want to review Guacamelee when it comes out on Steam. I might do gameplay for that, even though it is a smaller release. It seems like a really cool game. I want to review Saints Row 4 definitely. I want to review the new Splinter Cell game definitely. Maybe even Lost Planet 3. But on the console front of things, when we're not talking about PC gaming here, I want to review GTA 5. But I do not have a capture card. So here's what I was thinking. I might not do gameplay for the GTA 5 review. I might borrow some gameplay from someone. It'd be with their permission. It'd probably be a friend of mine's gameplay. But it might not be my own gameplay. I don't know. I'd still talk about the game in depth. And I'd try and give the best visual representation of the gameplay. The gameplay, from what I've seen so far, basically looks like Max Payne 3 anyway. Also, on the gameplay front of things, like actually uploading just LPs and stuff, I'm thinking about doing a Skyrim LP. I'm thinking about doing more League. I got Infinite Crisis closed beta, the DC Comics MOBA, and I'll be recording some of that. But mostly what you're going to be seeing out of me on this channel is reviews. I'm the review guy. Hacks Brian is the live streamer, basically. But I will be doing LPs. I'll be doing LPs of games that I really like and enjoy. I might be doing an LP of Bioshock Infinite, speaking of that. I love that game. There's a new DLC coming out, Burial at Sea, so I will more than likely be... I might be doing an LP of that. We'll see. Bioshock 1 is another candidate for an LP. There's a lot of games. There's just a lot of games, guys. Just keep an eye on the channel for the next month or so. Big things might be happening. And with that, I will sign out here. This is Javius, and I will see you guys in the next review.